Everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is Power Play, and we're joined, as always, by Chris Uminski. Chris, for the last time this season, although we'll probably do another episode soon for the next season, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Brian. How are you doing?
Doing quite well. So, the Golden Knights get their first, which doesn't seem that crazy to say because they've only been around for a few years, but their first Stanley Cup here in a 4-1 series victory and a 9-3 victory over the Florida Panthers. What did the Golden Knights do to really dominate this series?
All right, so I want to start real quick by saying I knew that Bruce Cassidy was going to win a cup there.
Yeah, we gotta address it. I guess elephant in the room for primarily a Bruins show, which this is. Yeah, our former coach has now won a cup in 1 year away from us.
Yeah, just about almost 1 year to the day since he was fired. Yep, he goes to Vegas, wins a cup. That's not surprising. Vegas is a consistently good team outside of last year when they missed the playoffs, but
Yeah, the only year that they missed the playoffs in their 4 years, and now they're Stanley Cup champions. So I guess shout out to Bruce. Congratulations. We're certainly not bitter given
yep, good job.
everything that
Good job.
happened. Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, I guess what did Bruce bring to this it sounds so funny because you have all the cliches like how did they get over the hump? The Knights just got here. So it's
Right.
not like they're languishing like long term, oh my god, this team just can't get over it. But yeah, I guess how did the finally get a Stanley Cup here?
Well, number one, yeah, coaching absolutely played a part in this. Bruce Cassidy knows what he's doing, and he can be a bit tough sometimes, but that's how you win. Um, and then I guess goaltending was excellent for Vegas pretty much all year. There hasn't been, and they brought in a couple of other good names like Jonathan Quick. Um, and then just the offense between Mark Stone, Jonathan Marchessault, just explosive. Um, there was really there was really not much that the Panthers could have done to keep this from happening. I don't think.
Yeah, so I guess one of the big storylines of this series was Matthew Kachuk, obviously the best player for the Panthers, but he got a pretty devastating injury. Do you want to go into that a little bit and how it affected the Panthers?
Yeah, so I guess during the first round, during the series with the Bruins, Matthew Tkachuk, what did he break it or fracture it? He fractured his sternum, which I think that's like the bone that's like right here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's
Yeah.
right
Ugh.
here connected to the yeah. I,
That's
would- I would imagine. Okay, hockey players are psychos. Obviously, that's well covered every time a series ends, especially like once the Stanley Cups ends. We hear about these players playing through like the most traumatic shit that would like keep the rest of us on the couch for like months on end.
well, I guess
Um,
yeah, well, I guess Brady Tkachuk had to like help his brother out of bed during the series,
that's so insane.
and it
So
was put
how
up.
is he?
Brought up.
How is he able to like even be on the ice? This is so insane to me, Chris.
I don't know. It's like you said. Hockey players they're weirdos, man. They're
A different breed.
yes. So I suppose just like I need to get out there and I need to win. But
Mhm.
now it's like we don't know if he's going to start the season with them next year. The Panthers are going to be missing Aaron Ekblad too. He got hurt during I think game one of the final. I think I saw like he broke his foot or something.
So yeah, they really were limping across the finish line here, and it showed. I mean, just taking a look at these scores of the game, game one, 5-2 Knights, game two, 7-2, game three, the Panthers did win in overtime, 3-2, and then game four, the Knights won 3-2. But then to finish the series 9-3, that's wild.
Yeah, that's not a hockey score. That's a touchdown and a field goal. That's
Yeah, right. That's a defensive struggle NFL game versus, high scoring NHL game.
Right. It's just it was overall it was a good series, especially if you were rooting for Vegas. I sort of I didn't have a preference. I hoped that both teams would lose, but if I had to pick one, it would have been Vegas.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to have the Panthers who beat you win it all.
No.
We
And
kind of got oh,
it's
sorry.
also fun to root against teams from Miami.
Yeah, I was about to say we kind of got a little bit not lucky, but we get to see our revenge enacted by dominant in the pretty much the same area teams. Miami beat both of our teams in the Celtics and Bruins, and then we got the Nuggets and Golden Knights really laying it to Miami in the finals.
Yep, yeah, one day apart from each other.
Yeah, that has to be tough. That's not that fun. I feel like as a Miami fan, I feel like, and I talked to Jack about this the other day with the Celtics, obviously not making it and then losing. Like, would you rather your team lose in the finals or lose in the playoffs? Personally, I prefer playoffs because like you get to the finals and like last year with the Celtics, it's like, oh, we were right there. We were right there. We were up 2-1 even in that series at one point and we still lost. So it's a little
Right.
easier to be like, well, it just wasn't our year in the playoffs. I don't know if you feel the same way.
I mean, I don't know. I think it depends on the year. Like this year, I would have rather have lost in the final. Um, but maybe that's just because of the way that the Bruins lost in the first round, which I'm still really salty about that. It took
Yeah,
a long time. This is maybe like I can count on one hand how many times I've actually worn Bruins stuff since they've lost.
which is very rare for you. Obviously, you're always
Yeah.
rocking Bruin stuff.
Yes.
Uh,
This might be the third time since then,
mm.
if that.
Um, yeah. So I mean, it's however you feel. Shout out to these Miami teams for having hell of a runs to both 8 seeds. Also, right, getting to the
Yeah.
finals, very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, the Florida Panthers, I've been saying for years that they're an elite team. And they came this close this year. They are a for sure cup contender next year.
Yeah, provided you can get healthy, and so we'll see the first half of the year. Like you said, maybe they'll start off a little slow, but it doesn't matter because they were an 8th seed this year and they still made it all the way to the finals.
Yep. Yes, they did.
And yeah, I guess looking forward for the Golden Knights. What do you expect from this team? Are they going to make a run at multiple cups here? Or?
I think they could. I think they could. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the offseason. We think there are some rumors that Phil Kessel's probably done.
Yeah, tough. I mean, I think you're probably one of the biggest Phil Kessel fans in the world.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
so like a little sad to not see him play in the series, but bittersweet, right?
Right. He's still a Stanley Cup champion though. He still got to hoist the cup. That's what matters.
Yeah. So yeah, they might lose Phil Kessel. Any other big players they might lose out on?
I can't think of I don't follow the Golden Knights closely enough to know for
Yeah.
sure, but I'd say that's the one that's up in the air. We'll
Mhm.
see how they do with some of their free agent signings that they got and some of their trade deadline acquisitions. We'll see if Jonathan Quick sticks around. I don't know that he
Yeah.
will.
Mhm. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's a fun story having come into the league so soon. Now pressure's on for Seattle. Um, the Knights have been in they've been in the Stanley Cup half of the time they've existed, and they've won it 25% of the time they existed. So Seattle, year 3. This is make or break. Come on.
Yeah, this is yeah, I mean Vegas has certified itself. It's a hockey town. Um and they're a title town now too. It's going to be really interesting to see how the pressure is going to be put on Seattle because Seattle came out was really good this year. Um, they were a contender this year. I don't know how they're going to be next year. Again, I don't follow them closely enough, but it's going to be interesting. We're going to have a good Winter Classic next year in Seattle.
Yeah, so that was announced. It's gonna be Golden Knights versus Kraken. For that's fun, and I think really good for the league. Have the two good new teams playing on a nationally televised game. That's great.
Yeah, the NHL has nailed expansion.
Yeah, they really have. And I mean, the Winter Classic was obviously the Bruins won this year, so that was fun. But like, just like being at Fenway, it's one of my, and you know me, I'm not like the biggest hockey guy in the world, but even with that, it's one of my like favorite sports things that it's going on now. You know,
Oh yeah, no, the Winter Classic's great. It's gonna be it's gonna be an entertaining one next year.
definitely. So, what's next on the agenda for us? What are we going to cover next now that the season's over?
Well,
Give them a tease.
I guess we're looking at the off season. We're gonna see if the Bruins can hold on to Tyler Bertuzzi, onto
Mhm.
Dmitry Orlov. We're gonna see what Patrice Bergeron's gonna do. It's looking like we might lose either Olmark or Swayman in the off
Yeah,
season, which I'm not happy about that. Uh,
yeah.
there's a lot in the air with the Bruins right now, um, and we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, excited to cover it all. And obviously, it's going to be a little slower now. We only got baseball happening, and we don't even have anyone to specifically cover baseball for us. So we'll be doing off season. Yeah, go Cubs. We'll be doing off season stuff, preparing here, in just like what 2.5 months ish. We got the NFL back, which I'm of course very excited about. That's my main beat for the channel. But yeah,
Mm.
it's all happening.
Very much looking forward to the Patriots season this year.
Hey, I think they might be better than people are thinking, and especially if they sign DeAndre Hopkins,
Yeah, yeah.
that defense is going to be really good. So
I'm not excited to at the prospect of the Jets this year though.
no, 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 no. And I mean, check out wikicgeteverythingsports.com. I just wrote a blog about why it could all blow up. A little bit of a hater blog as a Dolphins fan, but I think it's fun
That's
and
good.
some of
That's
the
good.
stuff rings
The
true.
Jets deserve to be hated upon.
Yes, I agree. So yeah, no, they can be very good. The Bills, as long as they have Josh Allen, they're gonna be good. So bloodbath in the AFC East. We'll see what happens. But also I saw an article the other day in the wild about the governor of Connecticut really pushing
Yeah,
to get the
he
Whalers back.
he's oh man, he's trying. He's really going for it. And I'm not a Connecticut resident, but I have a
Mm,
lot of respect for this particular politician.
right. Hey, if they do get the Whalers back, we will be there opening night to cover it for the channel. I
Oh yeah,
promise you guys
oh
that.
yeah,
That'll
oh
be
yeah.
very fun.
Hampton Craft in Hartford, I'll be there.
Mhm. Yep. That'll be exciting. So we'll see. I mean, come on, NHL, the iron's hot. You got to strike right now.
Yeah,
You just had an expansion team win. Like,
yes. And that's I guess the other big story this NHL off season is what's going to happen with the Coyotes.
yes, yeah, yeah, we'll see there. The Kansas City Coyotes, we'll see. As we've always said, we want them to become the Whalers, but we'll see what
Yes.
happens. All right, Chris, where can they find you online?
Best spot is on Twitter. That's at Chris Uminski for now. And then there's also your daily updates on the Hartford Whalers. That's at Whalers Revival.
Yes,
And I'm
it's
on
gonna
Uminski.
it's gonna pop off if they do come back. We'll just say that. But yeah, other than that, you can follow the channel pretty much everywhere. Wicked Good Sports. I'm on Twitter as well at the fake BMark, BMARR. Please read our blog, wikicgeteverythingsports.com. We're gonna be trying to do more NFL related blogs in the lead up to the season as I'm getting more excited. I think, try to build some hype there. But
Yep, I've got some stuff planned for the blog this summer too.
hell yeah. So you got to check it out. Again, wikicgeteverythingsports.com. Chris, thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you.
And we'll see you all in the next one.